Back again. Lovely grey London, looking like it's gonna rain. Perfect day to be stuck inside. So, what am I doing today? I am doing a restock of a print that sold out pretty quickly. Now, the reason it sold out quickly was because I fucked up half of the edition, so I didn't get as many out of it as I would have liked to have done. But I learned my lesson from that, so I'm going to try and not do that again today. So it's a 5-layer print, but it's nice big blocky areas, so the registration doesn't need to be particularly accurate because I've got a big outline layer that goes on at the end which should cover up any slight discrepancies I had with the registration. So yeah, it should be quite fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. After last week gold leafing, it's kind of nice to just get back to the basics and just use ink. So yeah, fingers crossed it should be quite a fun print to do. So yeah, let's get into it then, shall we? So, despite the fact that I've done this print before and it's supposed to be easy, I had so many issues yesterday and it took me an hour and a half to print 1 layer. Ridiculous. So the problem was getting kiss marks on pretty much all of the prints, which is a new term I learned recently, which is the word for when the paper sticks to the screen as you pull it back up, as the paper peels away, it leaves a mark on the paper, on the ink, and it just looks a bit shit. So I couldn't for the life of me figure out why it was doing that. I thought it was because the ink was too thick, so I put more medium in the ink, and it got worse. So from that I figured that it was because the ink was originally too thin. So I thickened it up a little bit, and then I increased the distance of the screen from the paper, and eventually that seemed to solve it. So I don't know what it was, whether it was a combination of things, but I think I figured it out, but it took me ages. So yeah, as I say, an hour and a half on 1 layer, not exactly the progress I wanted to make on a print that should be quick. But yeah, 2 layers down now, 3 more to go. Hopefully I'll have no issues on the remaining ones, but you never bloody know, do you, with screen printing. So, one of the oldest tricks in the book for screen printers is when you've got lots of colours to print, the registration usually needs to be spot on, absolutely perfect. Registration is just basically the lining up of the layers. What you want to avoid is gaps, because then you'll get like bits of the paper showing through, which is exactly what's happened here. So you can see where I've printed the pink layer, it's left a little white gap there between the blue and the pink. And that's just because, for whatever reason, my lining up wasn't perfect, the screen might have moved, all sorts of reasons that can happen. But that doesn't really matter today because I'm putting at the end a nice chunky outline layer, which is always a godsend because you know that any gaps you've got will be getting covered in the end, so you don't need to be as sort of anal about getting the registration perfect. So I'd always recommend, if you're not too good at lining things up, just put an outline layer on at the end. Covers up all the mistakes, because it is stressful when you know you haven't got that and you know your registration needs to be perfect. So I tend to try and avoid that. Right then, all done. I was only meant to take a weekend, but 3 weeks later, here I am, finally finished. But it looks lovely, so it was worth all the effort. And now I can go enjoy the sun. What a time to be alive, eh? What a time to be alive. Catch you later. That's it for this time. Next week, I'm gonna do a print, which I'm really excited about. If it works, I can do gradients in the prints, so bloody buzzing about that. But yep, join me next time. We'll see if that works. Take it easy.